Hello, my name is Samantha Versick and welcome back to Blacklisted Technology. In today's video, I'm going to be going over how to get through a hiring freeze. Now, right now, with everything going on during this pandemic, it is very difficult to know what is the right next step, especially because companies want to hire candidates, although there are a lot of unforeseen issues that come up throughout that process. Now, about a month ago, I was offered a position as a business analyst through Wells Fargo. I was extremely excited for the position, although I knew the start date would be pushed back a month because I would need to get all of the equipment set up inside my home and have them send me all the documentation. And I was okay with that because I didn't feel like there was any uncertainties. I knew that they were a bank and their finances were secure, and they did let me know that they have not laid anyone off since COVID. So that really made me feel secure. Although about a week before I was supposed to start, I got an email saying that they were freezing hiring new candidates due to their financial situation, which is completely understandable, although as any candidate would feel, I was pretty bummed, especially because I felt like I waited the entire month and wasn't applying to as many jobs as I should have because I felt like I had a position. I didn't need to do that. And I think that's where I went wrong. The first piece of advice I wish I would have told myself a month ago is that during a pandemic, even if you get a job offer and the start date is in 1 to 2 weeks, continue to apply. Because especially now there is so much risk within the world, and yes, you may have an offer one day, but then the next day things change. So just continuing to put yourself out there and work past the barriers if you do experience a hiring freeze. And that is something that has been really beneficial learning after the fact that I need to continue to apply even though I have an offer. Another piece of advice I wish I would have told myself is that it is okay that I did not get the job due to a hiring freeze. It's not something that I did wrong to get in this position. It is just the world going on right now. Especially because when you don't get a job, you almost feel a little bit of rejection because you're like, maybe I did something wrong, maybe they didn't like me. But in these circumstances, I think especially now, candidates need to realize that it is not them and it has nothing to do with the situation other than being in a pandemic. Now, the first great way to get through a hiring freeze is reaching out to your network. This is so important because you may not even notice that you have such a broad range of connections. Although once you start reaching out to them, you're like, oh yeah, I have this friend from high school who works at, let's say, Fox News that I can reach out to and say, hey, this is what happened, and does your company have any openings? This is much more beneficial because you have that personal connection rather than just being another resume within the thousands of resumes they've already received. Another great piece of advice is to reach out to the college that you went to and see if they have any resources. Many colleges have resources for alumni, and you might not realize when you first graduate, but these resources are available, and oftentimes they are very high quality. I just graduated from ASU and I had no idea that they had such a vast network of great connections from companies such as Microsoft and Fox News and various of other large corporations until I actually went to their website and started doing some research of my own. And I found this extremely helpful because not only do you have that personal connection, but you also have similarities, which really pushes you to the next step. Both people graduated from ASU and maybe from the same major, and that's really going to push you forward in the job market above other candidates. Now, my last piece of advice is to be patient. It's so easy to say, oh, I haven't got a job in 1 month, maybe I'm not worth it, maybe I'm not good enough, and that is not the case. It's very important to be patient right now and understand that this is a problem bigger than yourself and your own goals and aspirations. This is a problem that's going on throughout the world that's affecting millions of people. And even though you may acknowledge that this is a problem, you really need to believe it and understand that this problem can't be solved right now and it's going to take some time to get through. And that's something that I wish I would have told myself a month ago rather than being so hard on myself. So I just wanted to give this piece of advice to you guys to help when going through a hiring freeze. Well, thank you so much for listening to today's video, and make sure to check out my website at black-listed.technology, as well as my iOS app, black-listed. Thank you so much.